Yes, we are back with another episode. On this one is my big bro, also known as K9, but today he will be known as Brother Milk of Magnesia. Welcome to the podcast, bro.
What's up, little bro?
What's going on, man? Just another beautiful day. Getting through this cold weather we have in here. How everything been?
I'm maintaining. I'm maintaining and you know, just thankful that I'm able to maneuver through this pandemic and get my kids to school, and it's a lot, man. One day, 2 days in school, 2 weeks at home because somebody tested positive. So it's like a lot of it's nuts, man.
That's crazy. So why not just
And
why not just have them stay at home then?
that's the mayor.
Uh, that's a whole nother subject, all right?
Absolutely.
That's a whole nother subject. Maybe we'll do that through the course of this episode. So listen, you've been a Bear fan for a very long time. They've
Absolutely.
their record this year was what?
They were 7-11, 7-10, or 7-11, something like that. I think,
To
yeah,
anybody
seven
that's
and 10.
to anybody that's listening, I didn't think they would win over 5 games. I stopped paying attention to the Bears when they went 13-3. They had Kyle Orton that year. Kyle Orton got them to 13-3. They got to the playoffs. Then they got to the championship game against the Indiana Colts. And
And they put
then
Rex Grossman in.
and they put Rex Grossman in. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that's when I said I cannot go along with this shenanigans and foolery no more. I'm not doing it. But Big Bro has stood in the gap. You know, he has taken me to games. And it seems like I always bring snow, rain, thunder, and God with me when we do stuff like that. So
Last time it was a tornado warning.
so it's evident me and the Bears do not have a good chemistry together. It's very hard for me to watch them.
Understandably so. I would just say that my just like you, your support is completely went away. Mine has diminished over the years, but not completely went away. I no longer consider myself a fan. I consider myself fan is short for fanatic. I was once a fanatic,
Yes, he was.
you know. Uh, but over the years, man, I give it to one person that Jay Cutler stopped me from being a fanatic and just a supporter. I'm no longer a fanatic. I'm just a supporter. I support the Chicago Bears by watching them, occasionally going to games, but all that season ticket stuff, they're gonna have to show me something before that we ever revisit that season ticket stuff.
This brother has season tickets every year, and I used to shake my head at him like, I don't even know why you going.
That's a lot of bread. I wish I had back, but
Man, he used to
some
go
good
down
times,
to
man.
drive down to Urbana-Champaign when they was doing the preseason and all that.
Man, I loved going to practice and the whole. That wasn't my fanatic stage. No longer fanatic, just a supporter.
All right, so tell me something.
And, you know,
Oh, no. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh.
You go ahead and get into it.
So tell me something. If you could be the general manager right now, what would you change?
A lot of people ain't gonna like what I gotta say, but
No, we talking about it because we this is us. Let's do it.
I would make so many cuts that people's head would spin. And the reason why I say this is because in football, everybody has a window. You know what I'm saying? This past season, our defense ranked 22, which ain't the bottom of the barrel. It's like sort of in the middle, But with they talk about injuries and all the stuff that plagued us this season. Well, the people that were getting injured have started to become repeat offenders, and one of the highest paid ones is Khalil Mack. And he hasn't given the Bears a solid season since his first season here. All of his seasons been injury plagued. Akeem Hicks, another one, ain't giving us a solid season in years. Danny Trevathan. These are all the people I would just be chopping right now. Let me go. I gotta, as my man on Partner Interruption say, or my man Kornheiser say, let me go to the glasses. Khalil Mack is currently making, his base salary is $12 million with a $6 million signing bonus and a $5 million roster bonus. $30 million. He got us over the cap with his salary. Robert Quinn, who had a solid year. Eddie Jackson. Bum.
Gone.
$15 million.
Gone.
I would cut him too. Man. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not done yet. Akeem Hicks. Gotta go. Jimmy Graham. Oh, gotta go. You have to strike. Their window closed 2 years ago when our defense was ranked in the top 10 and Mitch Trubisky was supposed to have been the man.
Horrible draft pick.
It didn't. It was horrible. And our defensive window started closing and our offensive window. It started closing. So when they finally figured out Mitch wasn't the answer, shipped him out of town, brought in Andy Dalton and Nick Foles. Are you kidding me, man? And the window for the defense just started getting smaller and smaller. And each season since then, we started falling in the ranks. And to this season, we ended up 22 with some big contracts. There's some dudes on this team getting paid, and we're not even in the top 10 in defenses. So with that being said, we got a nucleus in young guys. You got a leader in Roquan Smith. It's time to trim the fat. As I wouldn't call it a complete rebuild, because you can fill these spots in free agency.
Yeah, but those contracts are going to be hard to dump too, aren't they?
It's gonna be. I'm pretty sure Khalil Mack got a solid contract, and all the draft picks that we gave up to get him, it's gonna hunt us for seasons to come.
Yeah,
but you want to put out a nice shiny, you want to put out a nice shiny toy when you're talking about moving to like Arlington Heights with this big facility that they're trying to build. You know what I'm saying? So you want to put the best product out there. That's why they moved up in the draft to get, Fields. Because they're thinking like, hey, we got to put the best. Now they want to start getting it right. But
I hope
Ryan Pace just has a bad knack for head coaches. We've had 6 head coaches since Mike Ditka. It's teams that still got the same head coach. They've had the same head coach for, I don't know how long Belichick been in New England, forever.
We've had six since Ditka?
Since Mike Ditka, we've had 6 head coaches.
And we've had what? And we've had what, like 30 quarterbacks?
I lost count on the quarterbacks, bro.
It's crazy.
But the six head coaches just shows the instability. It showed the instability in the front office. Mm-hmm. And then for Lovie Smith to get fired after having a winning season, Poole wasn't one of my favorite coaches because I just felt like he was a seasonal coach. Coaching in the season and coaching in the playoffs is two different things. He didn't make the right adjustments in the playoffs that could have won us that Super Bowl. All he had to do was make the proper adjustments. We could have won that Super Bowl because we had the talent. Because he couldn't make the adjustments, I feel that's why he got fired.
You don't feel like he was handpicked by management to be there and do that? Because why would he, a head coach, put Rex Grossman in? That made no sense. I don't think that came from him.
He was, yeah. I don't think that was him either. Mm-mm. And that's probably where they bumped heads and he got ousted. If when you put it that way, yeah, that could have been a factor in him.
And he was so calm
and then
about
another
it after
bonehead
the game.
move. Another bonehead move that they made was giving Devin Hester receiver money when he was only a punt returner and kick returner. They should have kept him as maxed him out there and said, hey, we're going to bring in a top receiver to help carry this offense further. You are doing an amazing job, but this is all that we can pay you. I know you're a star and a future Hall of Famer, but this is all we can pay you. But making him a receiver,
and he didn't do too well as a receiver. He couldn't.
He did horrible as a receiver.
Horrible. It was like he was running after his own shadow.
He was never a receiver. In college, all he did was punt return. He played a little cornerback, but he was never a receiver. So trying to make him a receiver so you can max him out salary-wise is a bad move, and we paid for that. So Ryan Pace over the years just – I still, to this day, nobody can explain the whole Mr. Trubisky thing.
And in that draft, you had Pat Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and who else? Who else came out of that?
You had Watson, Holmes.
We don't even have to speak on nobody, just them two alone.
Yeah, just them two alone. Them were the two high guys. And you passed on them and moved up in the draft to get Mr. Trubisky, a guy that would have been there in the second round, because he wasn't on nobody's radar.
He would have been in the 7th round. Wouldn't nobody been looking
I think
for
that was the beginning of the end for Ryan Pace. And then him, trying to make amends for all his wrongdoings by getting Fields. I think the damage was already done because we didn't have the supporting cast for Fields. Because we already know who Andy Dalton is. Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton. He was garbage in Cincinnati.
Facts.
He was garbage everywhere else.
He was a decent. I say he was decent or average in Cincinnati, but that's not what we needed. What they should have been. This team should have been rebuilt years and years ago.
You getting $5 million or $5 million backup? Way too much bread.
And then Nick Foles is back there too.
And Nick Foles was still off of his Philly contract, which was for a lot of bread. Yeah. So it's bonehead move after bonehead move has got him ousted. Now we got this new guy coming in.
Do you have promise for him? Do you think that he knows what he's doing? Because for everybody that's listening, I am not no Bears fan. I will occasionally watch. If you invite me over, I'll watch, but I will not root. I will not root for the Bears at all. You there?
Say the one thing. Yeah, Poles, the new GM.
Yeah.
I will. The one thing that his resume is padded with is scouting. He's been scouting since Boston College. He was a talent scout there. Kansas City talent scout. He was responsible. You know what I'm saying? He was in the war room when they got Patrick Mahomes and other key players like Kelsey and stuff like that to build that incredible offense that they got. So he was very instrumental in that. He knows, like I say, his extensive background in picking talent, I think is going to be a huge plus for the Bears. And I'm hoping that that he brings Eric Bieniemy. He's able,
Mm.
after the playoffs and Super Bowl is over, excuse me, he's able to snatch Eric Bieniemy, who I think would make a fantastic head coach, but for some reason keeps getting passed on. And the man is in charge of one of the most explosive offenses in football, but he keeps getting passed over for head coaching job. I'm gonna go to bat for him, but that's my frat brother. Eric Bieniemy should be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. Bring my frat brother on over and let him show you how the Qs get down.
I mean, that would make sense though. With what's his name, Ryan Poles, the GM.
I mean, in their relation, and just their relationship alone, you know what I'm saying. But
the owners have run this organization into the dirt for a very long time. I don't know who it is that is advising what's going on, but they do a horrible job. All of them are just terrible.
Well,
and it just seems like as long as the seats are filled, that's all anybody seems to care about.
There you go. And we're talking about generational season ticket holders.
Mm.
The grandparents pass them down to the parents pass them down to their kids. And corporations that have entire rows of seats
and boxes and all that.
Corporations that sections and boxes and this is propelling. This is the energy behind this Arlington Heights move. The Bears are not making no money with just 30,000 seats. Have you seen some of these stadiums that's being built now? I went to Vegas for the Raiders and Bears. That stadium, a tear went down my eye when I saw their stadium. I'm like, this place is magical.
Yeah.
I forgot the number of people it said, but it was huge.
105, 110,000.
It was so beautiful. You just want to go to the game just to be in the stadium, just like in Dallas, just like they're doing in Atlanta. They got these stadiums, and the Bears don't own the stadium.
No,
the Park
sir.
District's own.
Yes.
The Park District owns it. And so they were limited. And because it's historical, that's why they put that big toilet bowl looking thing on the top to try to get some more seats. And they're still not getting enough revenue. They're not getting the revenue that they should be getting. So
because they're trash. They're trash.
No, man, come on.
The Bears are trash. Ladies and gentlemen, they were doing so good one time. Cade McNown had me watching. That's how good they were at one point to me. And I told them to lead Cade McNown in. I told bro, I said, yo, yeah, they should lead Cade McNown in. As soon as they took him out, team went flat. The team went flat. You could see the energy of the players when Cade McNown was in the game because they knew that everybody would know their route and they would know where to be on the field. As soon as he went out and Cutler went back in, do.
And I'm not gonna make it seem like, I think overall the foundation is there. The troubles with the O-line, that can be fixed in training camp, getting them on the same page, because they got a mixture of veterans and young guys that they drafted. The young guys needed the repetitions. I keep forgetting the kid's name, but he had like 11 false starts during the season. So that can be fixed in training camp. You can fix the O-line. The secondary, you can fix that in free agency, because some of them dudes are just bums. Straight up bums. Trevathan ain't played a full season since I don't know when. Get rid of him. Akeem Hicks. Love Akeem Hicks. He's a good dude. We talking, this is what my man said in Purple Rain. This here a business.
Man.
So Akeem Hicks gotta go. He's a great person.
I listened to Chris Carter years ago, and I posted this on Facebook. One season of football, he said there's only 5 to maybe 7 teams that actually want to win when it comes to sports. He said it doesn't name the sport. He said, but you know the team that wants to win by the effort that they put into making sure that their team wins. He said, just pay attention. He said, only 5 to 7 teams that actually want to win. They actually want to win. He said, just pay attention. He said, you know them by the things that they do to win. He said, after that, the rest of these guys are just filling seats.
Look at what the LA Rams did. LA Rams was like, we want to win now.
Yep.
And I'm talking about they went all out. They first round draft pick, traded him to Detroit, brought in a veteran, grabbed OBJ, just
Von
putting
Miller.
pieces in place because they want to win. They want to win now. Von Miller, they want to win now. And everybody is on page with the message is reverberated across the entire organization. It's our time right now. We're gonna make this our time right now. And
we didn't move back to Cali out here to just be an average ass team.
Man.
We ain't moved out here for that. We ain't trying to fill seats. We trying to win.
They make some major moves.
Absolutely.
So whereas even if they don't win this year, they will be in the conversation.
And quiet as kept, I'm a Matthew Stafford fan. I thought that his time in Detroit was up years and years ago, especially once Megatron left. I was like, oh, it's time for him to go. He never said nothing. Man, he never said nothing. He sat there and ate a bowl of shit for years. For years.
But you can't hold syrup on shit and call it pancake. So I would have been up Detroit. The problem with the Bears is that, in my humble opinion, I'm not a professional sports analyst. I'm just a Bear supporter. I just feel that the general manager dictates how the team move because he's responsible for hiring the coach. He's the guy in the war room on draft day scouting out the next talent. You know what I'm saying? You got to surround yourself with the right people. I hope that whoever comes in and coaches just wipes the slate clean, bring in their own coaches, because the whole culture needs to be changed.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be safe in Chicago with this new GM. And I mean, he started conducting interviews the first day he got hired. And he interviewed guy who used to be Indianapolis head coach, the black guy. Can't remember his name, escapes me right now, but so
Tony Dungy.
He's like, no, it wasn't Tony. He was Tony Dungy's assistant when they won the Super Bowl in Tampa. But that guy been following Tony Dungy, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Everywhere he went. And he was Detroit's head coach, and he didn't do bad when he was in Detroit. So I think he's maybe a front runner. But like I say, I think Poles is just waiting for the playoffs and the Super Bowl to be over. And I'm hoping he grabbed Eric Bieniemy, man. But that dude deserves to be a head coach with the way he's orchestrated that offense in Kansas City.
Yeah, man.
And we need a quarterback whisperer because it wasn't Matt Nagy.
Not at all.
Matt Nagy missed his true calling, a motivational speaker, because that dude would find the positive in every loss. I'll be like, what are you talking about, man? We just got our butt kicked. And you in front of the camera talking about how you just need to tweak a few things and we're going to be okay. No, y'all look horrible.
No,
that dude could have been a motivational speaker because he is not a head coach.
But I'm quite sure it wasn't working. It wasn't working.
Listen, man.
The motherfuckers went out every game and did. And I don't want to knock them like too hard, but ladies and gentlemen, I grew up in Chicago. I'm from here. Like, I watched them for years, just throw boo-boo on the field after boo-boo on the field. And you just can't shine up a turd. I know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at.
I'm hopeful uh because I've seen how fast the turnaround can come, and other teams have done it, and Chicago has done it once before. Defenses win championships, and until we get our defense and put a half with look what just happened with San Francisco. They didn't even they didn't even score an offensive touchdown, and they going to the NFC Championship off defense and special teams.
And they run
So
the ball like a motherfucker too, though.
and they run the ball. They run the ball, but they never got in the end zone.
Mm-mm.
They never got in the end zone. They just got their offense got them close enough to kick a field goal to win the game. Defense scored the only touchdown.
That's crazy.
And special teams. That was one of the most bizarre games I've ever seen. But I'm just glad they beat Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's out the way.
It was yeah. So I mean, they concentrated on defense. Garoppolo was just good enough. Don't get me wrong. The only thing that could save Garoppolo's job is winning the Super Bowl. Because the rumors are that Aaron Rodgers is going to the 49ers. He's from Cali.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
He grew up in the Bay Area. He went to Cal University. And
I feel like his time
I
feel like his time at Green Bay was up once they got Matt LaFleur in there anyway.
He didn't gel with Matt LaFleur.
I feel like it was over before that because he didn't have no receivers. After Randall Cobb left or something, I was like, oh, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I didn't understand that move at all. Yeah. Cobb was his, but him and Devontae Adams, man,
that's a force.
I could see Devontae Adams bouncing with him. You know what I'm saying? Demanding the trade because that young brother Love is nice, but you know, we talking a straight rebuild. You know what I mean? Because some of them dudes' window is closing in Green Bay. You know, and Aaron Rodgers said publicly today he's not going to be a part of a rebuild.
There's no point. He's been in the league for what, 13, 14 years now? Yeah,
14 years, man. Nobody trying to see no rebuild. So San Fran has a young nucleus of players.
Oh man, can you imagine what he could do with somebody like Deebo Samuels, man? Did you hear me?
Deebo, man, I hope he's healthy for the next game. Deebo, I've never seen anything like Deebo in a long time.
The way he come out the backfield, it's like everything he do is just like ridiculous.
I just call him do it all because he does it all, man. And he made that run to get them in field goal range on a bruised knee, and he just didn't quit, man. He's like, yo, I'm gonna do whatever it takes, man, to put us in a position to win. Those are the kind of dudes, man, that energize your whole squad. You know what I'm saying? And the Bears got a small window because, you know, some of these guys are going to be looking to get paid real soon. And, you know, Chicago Bears are not in the business of paying. So we may lose Robinson because he wants a max salary and they franchise tagged him because they're not going to pay him. Then you got Montgomery, who is a stud. He'll be coming off his rookie contract soon. He's going to be looking to get paid. And they never pay him. They just
use him up and salary, keep him going.
Franchise tag, and then they out. Especially with running backs, because running backs only got a 3 to 5 year lifespan anyway.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So Montgomery, they need to get it going while they got a stud like Montgomery and a backup like Davis and a young. We need the reason why I say we need Benamy is because Benamy uses He let Patrick Mahomes be Patrick Mahomes, and he
Mm-hmm.
decides the offense around what Patrick Mahomes' strengths are. So that's what we need in Chicago with Fields, because Fields is Patrick Mahomes-esque,
Okay.
in so many ways. Running, extending the play, throwing on a run. But man, Nagy, he don't have that kind of offensive intellect.
With that said, certain types of guys in the league are either outdated or they need to update their catalog then, right? Because this influx of quarterbacks that we're seeing, as well as the defensive players, they're all running 4.3s and 4.5s. Like nobody's gonna stand in the pocket anymore and just take hits. Like fuck that.
Man, well, see, I'm old enough to remember when defensive ends were big fat dudes. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no big fat dudes coming off the ends anymore. These dudes is chiseled.
Yeah, like
4.4s.
That's what I'm saying. Like 6'5", 280 now might look like you.
Man, these dudes is coming off the end so fast that unless you got the number one offensive line in the league,
you can't do nothing about it.
They can't save you. You gotta have, I'm talking about one of the coldest offensive lines to stop a guy like, Donaldson and all of these dudes that are rushing in. That Donald is a monster. They lined him up in so many different positions that last game, man. He gave them the flat blues, man.
And then they got Ndamukong Suh on that team as well.
And Rams too. I think Ndamukong Suh. Is he here? I thought he was.
I think so.
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure who's all on that defense, but them dudes is vicious, man. Them dudes is vicious. I think he's in Tampa, ain't he?
Is it Tampa? Let me check and see.
If I ain't mistaken, that guy's in Tampa somewhere. But yeah, you don't have them big
Tampa. He in Tampa.
You don't have them big fat defensive ends no more.
That's a wrap for that. These is cornbread fed Mississippi boys, man.
They bench, these dudes is in the gym.
Yeah.
And they coming fast.
It ain't no more that 4.7, 4.8, 5 second. These guys can get off the line and keep up with Usain Bolt if they need to for 4 seconds, man.
And the game has evolved.
Yeah, it's sped up. Everything is sped up now.
Everything is sped up. And then when you stuck in a certain methodology, like the Chicago Bears was, we could put anybody back there, quarterback, and we could beat you defensively. No, you got to have a balanced attack.
There's a reason why guys like Tyreek Hill runs a 4.2 or 4.3.
Tyreek Hill his legs be moving like a cartoon character.
Every time he catches the ball, I just shake my head. I'm like, man, that's ridiculous, man. And then to be 5'6", 5'7", you know how low you got to get to somebody like that?
First, you got to find him amongst all these big dudes that's blocking for him. And then his lateral movements is so crazy. It's a lot of fun watching him. Watching him play. That game Saturday against Buffalo.
Nuts. That was
banana nut bread.
I stood up and clapped in the house. I was like, bravo, gents.
Banana nut bread. I have never seen such offensive fury. I'm talking, and Josh Allen is the future.
Yeah.
Allen is, I'm talking, he's going to be the next dude they have in the conversation of GOAT. It's going
to be him and Pat Mahomes.
Him and Mahomes.
Yeah.
Because Patrick Mahomes is doing some really freaky stuff with the football, man. I'm talking about, it looked like he made the ball curve around the defender the other day. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, what?
sidearmed it and it kind of curved around the defender. I'm like, come on, man.
But you know what I liked about Mahomes that game? He didn't do too much trickery. It wasn't a lot. It was mostly let me move the ball down the field and let me make the right reads. He didn't do a lot of trickery. It was like, all right, let me keep it in the pocket. This is
he is seasoned now from 2 years ago when, you know what I'm saying?
Just having fun.
Yeah. When he was just going off of raw talent alone, he's seasoned now. He's reading defenses. And Fields will get there. Fields will get there with the right coaching. You know what I'm saying? Coaching is so critical when you're dealing with raw talent like Fields that's just used to being athletic. What Fields is finding out that he was way faster than everybody in college. These dudes in the NFL are just as fast as you.
Yep.
So these defenses can run that 4-4 with you. So
ain't no getting off the edge, pimp. Like, we're gonna be right there.
The game is sped up.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the right tutelage to help him make the necessary adjustments.
Absolutely.
So whereas and put him in a better position to win games and be more effective.
Yeah.
You know, because we had the tools, you know, and this kid, Mooney's gonna be a Pro Bowler next year. If the Bears get it together, this dude is Pro Bowl material. Route running, good hands, fast. You know, he has all the right. He got all the right stuff to be a Pro Bowler.
I can't wait to see what happens after the season is officially over, man. Because, you know, I'm curious. I mean, like, it's not like I'm gonna be watching these games unless they make the right moves. And you already know how I feel about it. I ain't watching nothing unless they make the right moves. So,
and that's warranted, you know, because with
a kid like Justin Fields, you have to say, hey, kid, what are you good at? What do you like to do? The same way they did with Pat Mahomes. What do you like to do? Show me what you like to do. And we're going to make sure we cover everything on your strong suit. And then everything that's weak, we're going to have to back it up. We're going to have to hide it, or we're going to have to make sure that we chisel it and we polish it to make sure that people can't capitalize off the things that you're not good at. Because for Pat Mahomes, they were able to push him back for a while. And now that he's been in the system for 2 or 3 years, everybody thought they had something. But last week proved if I got a gunsling, I can gunsling.
He's not trying to outrun defenses anymore. He's outthinking them.
You got to.
In the beginning, he was outrunning them. He would scramble, keep the play alive, turn this way, spin. But now he's like, I've seen this before. You know what I'm saying? He's seasoned now. And
because now he throws the ball away when he doesn't see it, you know.
Fields got put on his backside enough that he is he's gonna be sharper. A good training camp with the right coach.
Absolutely.
The right offensive coordinator and the right personnel. We got Mooney, got Montgomery, got Davis. You know, you can hopefully they'll come to their senses and pay Robinson and he'll stay because he's a bona fide big receiver. You need a big receiver.
How tall is Allen Robinson?
I don't know his measurements right off the top of my head, but he's the biggest receiver we got. Okay. You know, we make some bonehead moves on receivers, and letting him get away would be another one. When we drafted White. Remember when we drafted White?
He was supposed to be the next one, and he had like back-to-back ankle injuries or something.
That dude was the worst, even when he was healthy.
And then on the other side, we had like Brandon Marshall or something like that?
Brandon Marshall was solid. I mean, but we just didn't have the personnel at the time. Jay Cutler really didn't want to play football no more. You know what I'm saying? He was nonchalant about everything, throwing the ball away. He had checked out. And the coaching was subpar.
Yeah.
So it's been bad for a lot of years, and I'm hopeful that getting rid of the general manager, and bringing in the right head coach will re-energize the organization, man.
It's needed.
And
It's
needed because I could have been doing a whole lot of other stuff. I probably already have my master's if I wasn't wasting Sunday messing around with the Bears. Now I'm playing catch up, trying to finish up my master's, but all good things, they work themselves out. So
yeah, man. Listen, for everybody that's listening, we used to go to a certain bar in the city at the time, and they got the Bears games listed on this big chart. And you got to go and put up the W or the L. I used to laughing. I'm the only one in the bar clapping when they put up the L. And I think it was Zola. She used to go up there, put the black mark and put the L. I'd be, put them L's up there, man.
That was so deflating, man. To be sitting in your favorite watering hole, watching L's get put next to your team.
I loved it. I loved every moment of that.
You are such a jerk, man.
Man, I loved it.
I still enjoy watching the game with you, even though I know you ain't 100 in it like I am. But I understand where you're coming from. They gotta show you something.
You got to give me something. All right, for anybody that's listening, I kind of give it the equivalent of a bad relationship. Do you really want to do that? Why are you still in that relationship? Y'all just used to hurting each other.
Yeah.
Man, I don't watch this dude have damn near have heart attacks watching these guys play. Throwing plates of food, beer, everything.
Man, I have had in my fandom, I had some really bad Sundays. Man.
Oh yeah.
I knew I had gone too far when Lovie Smith sat the starters of the last game of the season against Green Bay. And if he'd have played the starters, we would have knocked Green Bay out of the playoffs. And that was the same year that Green Bay went on to win the Super Bowl. So Lovie set the starters and let Green Bay get into the playoffs. And we were leaving the stadium and Cheeseheads was jumping up and down. And this one dude was just doing too much, man. I just slapped the Cheesehead right off his head. I was thinking to myself, like, man, Kenny, you going too far, man. The Bears ain't worth going to jail over. The dude was shook because he looked at my grill and I was just so mad. But I knew I was over the edge, man. And Jay Cutler, he helped me, man. He has helped me get rid of that fandom.
Yeah, Jay Cutler was a last straw for you. I remember watching. I was like, yo, he don't have no emotion whether they win.
I was just like, I just sit there. I just be standing there drinking my beer, eating some peanuts, just like I'm just here because I paid for it. And I had no enthusiasm when Jay Cutler was the quarterback.
When Brandon Marshall started having issues, I was like, yep, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
And he. You know what's so funny about the whole Brandon Marshall thing? He warned us about the times that we're in now with mental health. He was trying to warn us back then. He had been diagnosed as bipolar, and he needed certain, concessions to be made.
Yes.
And they refused to do it for him. And now look at what's going on now.
But look at how outdated everything about the NFL is. It's all outdated. Yeah. It's all outdated.
The Redskins the Washington football team still don't have a name.
Y'all can't come up with a name for that yet? What's wrong with y'all, man? It's a million things out here that y'all could call that team. Bottle caps.
Shouldn't have been the Redskins this far into the 2000s. No. It still shouldn't have been the Redskins. I'm like, man. But we could talk about the country and politics.
Yeah, we don't have to do that
another day.
Episode. Yeah, we gonna keep it lighthearted. We ain't gonna go serious on y'all.
Yeah, so we the Chicago Bears know that they have to put a shinier product out there with this Arlington Heights thing. Because you're talking about folks that are going to be driving. That's a nice little ride.
It is.
It's a nice little ride.
But I think what the Metra goes out there too, so some people might be taking that, and it drops them off right there
Yeah,
by the field. So
yeah, and it's going to be way better as far as the whole experience. They're talking about bars, restaurants, the whole 9 yards. It ain't like what we have now, where you just go to the game and then the police are like, "All right, get out of here, go."
yeah, yeah. And then
You know what
if
I'm
you want to
saying?
walk
Nowhere to
somewhere,
go.
yeah, you got. If you want to walk somewhere, it's a little bit of a walk, especially in the cold.
Yeah, and then you got Lakeshore Drive right there, which you can only cross at certain spots.
Yep.
So Arlington Heights, if they do this right, can re-energize the fan base because it'll give them something else besides the game. But you still got to put a good product out there too.
Yeah. Hopefully the new GM he's a GM, right? He's a
Yeah,
GM.
he's a GM. And
Hopefully he
the
goes and he
reason,
looks at everything that these guys have been doing and go, all right, all you guys got to go. But maybe he may do it over a certain span of time at the same time.
yeah, I don't expect him to come in and just rock the boat completely. Well, who's to say he may have been given that kind of leverage to say, hey, you ain't been producing, because numbers don't lie.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? You could just look at some of these guys' stats, games played, and just be like, you're a liability, you're a liability, you're a liability. You cut. And football ain't like basketball. You know what I'm saying? Where these dudes you could get just flat out cut and just get the money that you negotiated and guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's sad that's the nature of the beast, but
that year that Matt Forte was there too, Brandon Marshall was there because they had like 1,000. I remember because I enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching that.
They were killing it, man, and
it was like Matt Forte, Brandon Marshall, and then the tight end. They were all 1,000 yards, rushing or receiving, and I was okay with watching it then. I was okay with watching
Miller before he messed up his leg. And oh man, those were the good times there. But we just I don't know, man. We've been on the precipice of greatness sometimes, and then sometimes we just look like doo-doo. And we're in the I don't say we completely doo-doo because I think Detroit still holds that title.
Yeah, Detroit is doo-doo.
And then Jacksonville is garbage.
Yeah, they are garbage. They are garbage pail juice, Jacksonville.
And there's gonna be some changes. It's time for some changes to be made in Chicago though, because how are you gonna sell the upgrade on these tickets for this Arlington Heights thing? If it happens, we're talking about upcharge on tickets, parking, everything. You got to be able to sell that with a good product. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they need to, man. I just think Bears fans would just line up and show up for this type of stuff, man.
True. It's almost like a status thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, people will, I got a skybox, and, you know.
People showing up to tailgate. They love that shit,
man. Yeah, I do too, man. I miss tailgate.
Like,
tailgate. It's a whole nother world to football. Tailgate is it.
Tailgate. Man. You know what? When you had me there once, I don't know if it was you or somebody else when they had me there doing a tailgate. And that shit was pretty damn fun, though. I enjoyed that.
You and I went to a tailgate once.
That was pretty fun, man.
That's the only time, man, that Chicagoans of all areas can come together and just have a good time during the tailgate. So that's why I enjoy it so much. You got, like I say, North Side, South Side, East and West coming together for the Bears. And
suburbs, everybody.
Breaking bread and throwing them back. And
I had people handing me hot dogs that I would normally go, I beat your mother. Just take the hot dog. Just take the hot dog.
We do all of that. We get all hyped up, and then we got to go in the stadium, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
I'm tired of it, and you know, I think that they owe it to this young man who they moved up in the draft to get to put a better product on the field.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you don't, then what was the whole purpose of having him here? You basically drafted him for the look to make it look like, again, like they do it with everybody. We're gonna get one little piece and make y'all think that we trying to do something. And they've done this for years and years and years.
But like I say, they haven't completely dropped the ball on offense, because I never heard of Montgomery or Mooney. They wasn't like real big names, but that's the beauty of the league, man, and talent scouting, that you'll find a diamond in the rough sometime. And Montgomery is a beast, man. The dude's a flat out beast. And Mooney is, like I say, he is Pro Bowl material. Him and Montgomery are Pro Bowl material. We just need to get our quarterback up to speed. And
the O-line needs some work too, right?
Yeah. Peters was solid. He had some health issues, but he was the most solid guy on the O-line. And like I say, the O-line could be addressed in free agency and in the draft. It's not, I think our secondary, I meant to pull up where our secondary ranked at the end of the season, because it had to be close to last. And Eddie Jackson went to the Pro Bowl 2 seasons ago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, it's the season before this one. And I think he was just waving people through like the people at the airport, like, you could go here for the touchdown. I just didn't understand what he was doing, man. He had no interceptions and was just getting beat. I mean, flat out getting beat. It was hard to watch. Secondary is atrocious on the Bears. I think Cole Kmet is going to be. I think Kmet's going to be a good tight end. I think he's got enough tutelage from Graham where you can move on from Graham, because Graham is getting old.
He is old, bro, especially in football years.
Old. He's old in football years, and he don't have the, he don't have that physicality that he used to have when he was in Green Bay killing the Bears,
Or when he was with the Saints.
Yeah. So,
he was a dog when he was with the Saints, man. We couldn't do nothing with him.
Beasting. So, yeah, it's you can move on from him, and just I don't think we're really that far off, man. But there's some people that's getting a whole lot of bread that ain't been producing that I feel need to go, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it could. But you gotta have the right head coach, man. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks, man.
All right.
We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks.
We can move on from that, and let me ask you this: what you think of these Bulls? I'm always be. I don't care what nobody say. Like, I know the Bulls.
If you see my head turn, it's because I got the Bulls on right now.
All right. I love the Bulls. I've always loved them, even when they were sucked. Like, when y'all like the Bears, I love the Bulls when they had Corey Carr and all those guys. Like, I was still supporting Keith Booth and all those guys and nobody. Yeah, all that trash. But
you know what's
they looking good, man.
Is these dudes, I'm just tired of dudes leaving the Bulls and then finding a career. Look at my man.
You gotta update the organization. This is these old regimes, man. They need to be updated.
But I will say this, man. They got it right when they brought in Lonzo Ball and DeRozan. Woo. They got it right.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know what the fuck LA was thinking by letting Caruso get away, but they paying for it right now.
Because they have nothing over there. They have nothing over there on defense.
Russell Westbrook, I don't know why teams they figured out that he would destroy your whole organization.
But you didn't notice it because it was the triple doubles. Like, he was a machine. Oh, he putting up triple doubles, blah, blah, blah. Now you look at it like, yo, you put him on a good team, and he's like a virus.
Yeah, he is a virus. This is what,
That man had a
fourth
triple double.
team?
He had a quadruple double with turnovers one night. He had like 11 turnovers, 10
That's,
assists, 12 rebounds, and like 15. I'm like, what the fuck?
my man shot at Jay and it hit the top of the backboard. Like,
Oh man, and dude, the announcer said, I think he just hit the window. I was like, what the? I said,
right now, the
what?
Bulls are in a they're in the battle with Toronto. It's 96 to 100. Bulls up 4 points, but you don't even have to panic no more with Chicago because the king in the fourth is gonna do what he do.
That's my guy, DeMar DeRozan.
But right now, our struggles are based on the fact that Lonzo Ball is hurt because that dude is a floor general.
Absolutely.
And as he goes, so does our offense.
Yeah, he's a good engine.
He can orchestrate. Man, he really sets everybody up to be great, and he's not even looking to score all the time.
But when he do score, he makes it even harder because once his shot starts falling, then Zach starts falling in line, and DeMar goes, y'all do y'all thing. Let me know when we get to the fourth. Y'all know where all that slides. I love it.
Let me ask you this, man. Let's reverse roles for a second. You asked me about the Bears, but do you see just a bit of, I wouldn't call it jealousy, but a bit of Zach trying to do too much to keep up with DeRozan?
I see that from time to time.
He's forcing a lot of his shots now.
Yeah, too much.
Forcing a lot of his shots now.
The shots, all the extra dribbling that he does is a little too much.
And if you notice, offensively, he gels better with Vukovic than he does with DeRozan. DeRozan and Ball gel. Vukovic and Levine gel like they know what each other's doing because they played together. But Ball and DeRozan, this they first year playing together, and they are clicking. But when DeRozan and Levine start the game off, it seems like it's a bit. Zach is sometimes if DeRozan start getting off, Zach will start trying to force it. You know what I'm saying?
And he don't need to because he's a finesse player. Like he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He's not like a go get it guy. Like he's a finesse player, and you can see it in his game.
He's forcing it and crying about calls now, and that wasn't his game last season. Last season, I mean, he carried the whole team, and yet he didn't have to force anything.
I think now because he getting that look, and it looks better because he got DeRozan there. Now he's starting to ask for those type of calls. But if I was him, man, I would just ball. I would just ball the fuck out.
Just ball, man, because I'm talking about when the Bulls are 100% healthy, they're a problem. I think we slipped to like third in the Eastern Conference.
That's fine.
But look at all the injuries. And I think that's a great spot.
Yeah.
I think that's a great spot.
Yeah.
We just got Levine and Green back. We still missing Ball, Caruso, Jones Jr. So when the Bulls are 100% healthy, man, they are a problem.
Yep, and then you got Ayo don't sumo balling. You got all the other guys come off the bench that they're trying to trip in. Like I love what I'm looking at.
I love the sumo. The sumo was a steal
in
the
absolutely.
Second round, and he is, and DeRozan is like kind of big brother them and cuffed them, and show them how to game.
Yeah.
Goals,
and you need that.
Showing them the tempo of the game and the best spots to take a shot. And he a defensive. Ooh, he's a headache on defense, boy.
I like Ayo.
He's giving some veterans the blues on defense. So he's just working within his, in the interviews, he keeps saying, like, I just want to learn. I just want to learn. And that's all you want to hear from a rookie. I just want to learn. I just want to learn. And he's getting it, man. He's a future all-star.
Yeah.
And they stole him in the second round.
They just gotta do it. They just gotta do it right. I think, like I said, that management squad, whoever it is, the talent guys, they need to figure out, how to get these guys rolling and make sure that they stay here.
Yeah. So, with that being said, given that they're in the upper echelon of the Eastern Conference now,
which no one expected,
do you hold on to Patrick Williams, or do you?
I forgot all about him. Yikes!
Or do you make a move to try to make a run in these playoffs? That is the $1 million question right now, because when healthy, Williams is a beast.
But the way they balling right now,
rebound, block shots, and he ain't out there trying to shoot no threes. He gets his stuff in the paint. He ain't like, I think him and Vukovic, when on the floor together, can be a nice 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
But he can't stay healthy. And nobody saw this coming. I didn't think these dudes would jail.
No, I didn't either. I was like, man, we might be number 6 or number 7.
Yeah, man, these dudes got aspirations of going deep.
You know what? And let's say this too, though. I think Lonzo needed this, man. I don't think the Lakers was where he needed to be, or what was the last team that he was with? New Orleans. It looked like it could have jailed there, but it didn't look like they had the right pieces. You know what I mean? Like I think Lonzo does better when everybody knows their role and he can just run a team. Like it's like he knows, okay, DeMar DeRozan is my go-to guy. Zach is a more fluid player, he's a rhythm player and things like that. And then I got Vucevic, who I can go in the paint and I can run screens and picks off of, and I can do different things like that with. So it's like a team like this is just cut out for him, because like he got the whole show to himself. With Bron does that same thing. So how do you allow him the floor to be a floor general and get in a groove? It's kind of hard to do that.
So do you roll with Patrick Williams, or do you make a move?
I'd say just sit him. I would say just sit him, man. I would just say just sit him down. Hey, go ahead and get healthy, kid. Go ahead and get healthy.
What about Kobe?
Kobe White? No, we gotta keep Kobe, man. We gotta keep Kobe for right now.
We so guard deep right now. Though.
True. Some of them guys that's playing for us right now may have to go then, because we rolling.
How do you manage that time? Caruso, Dosunmu, that's a lot of guards.
Yeah.
That's a lot of guards. And Caruso is making decent money. You paying him decent money. He can't come behind Kobe White.
No, he ain't coming behind no damn Kobe.
Kobe White could be starting on, it's like 8-9 teams in the league where he could be their starting point guard.
So who would you want to give up then? Would you give up Kobe or Ayo?
You got Ayo in the second round. You ain't got to pay him.
Because we got Kobe in the first.
You got Kobe in the first. And he has a high trade value. It'd have to be some, good move, Zach. You'd have to give me something real sweet for Kobe White. I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, I need like a big man and a draft pick, because Kobe White is nice, man.
Yeah.
Kobe White is nice.
And like 6'4", 6'5".
His shot is improved. He always could go to the rack.
He looks like he's just going to continue to improve, man.
But he is, that going to the rack is what kind of got his shoulder messed up. So his J is more developed now. Ball handling skills, he already had those. So I wouldn't want to be in the front office having to make that decision because if you make a mistake,
yeah,
you
you
could.
could fuck it all up, especially if you're like a Bulls organization. But I feel like if you're looking at the playing field correctly, you pack if you're gonna do it, you have to package up a couple of them. But
How do
who
you
are we
tell?
going to get? Who are we going to get for that?
They talking about Grant from Detroit, who is a stretch
Man,
four.
hell no. Hell no.
Hear me out. He ain't big body,
No,
but
he got a nice
he
game. 6'8", 6'9". I like him.
and
Like he
he
decent.
and he guard multiple positions, and he'll give you 16, 18 points
Okay,
a
but where you gonna
game.
put him with the rest of these guys that can already do that same thing? I mean, even though we
Well,
guard heavy, he is a bigger guy.
yeah. And we got some expiring contracts and like Jones. And some of these guys are just on 1 year contracts like Cook. And I mean, it all depends on I think it's gonna depend on the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't see them doing anything. They were trying to say they was gonna squeeze the trigger before the trade deadline. I can't see that happening because there's so many unknowns. You ain't seen all these guys on the court together yet. So it would be foolish to make a decision without seeing Patrick Williams play with these dudes for a stretch of games. Because I think, man, he came back off injury and then he got hurt again. But this
Yeah,
has just been an injury plagued season for them. But for them to still, like I say, be third in the East
that's
with an
crazy.
injury plague and COVID
COVID running
infested,
rampant. Yeah,
so to be third
that ain't a
in
good
the
bad
East
spot to
that's
be.
in the East that's beasting right now.
Yeah,
Miami then snuck up to the top spot in the Eastern Conference.
yeah.
I wouldn't say they snuck up because they was just in the
But
championship
wasn't nobody really paying attention to him though. You know, and they slowly just
and they
ball.
made some moves and they made some good moves. Bringing in Lowry and a few other guys and
Facts.
keeping
Facts.
keeping veterans on the team and you know and man, do they know how to draft well when it comes to shooters and stuff. They got shooters up the ass.
Yeah,
So
definitely got that.
and Milwaukee is just Milwaukee. I mean,
Giannis is
they
just a newer
big.
version. Just a newer version of Shaq, bro.
Yeah,
Just a
I
newer
would.
version of Shaq.
He,
Or Sean Kemp.
yeah, he has a little bit more. He has a little bit more veracity than Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp was a lot of alley oops and using his
Athleticism.
vertical. And Giannis is strong, man.
Strong,
That
bro.
dude's the freak is
Came in at 6'11",
befitting
220. And now he
a
250.
befitting name. Beast is a befitting name. This dude is a freak.
The Greek
He is a
freak,
freak.
bro.
The
Yeah,
Greek freak
man.
is so.
And I like the way he plays though, man. Like no possession bothers. I missed the shot. All right, cool. I'll get it back on the next one. I ain't worried about that.
Yeah, he Middleton and those guys he got around him, and then
They ride,
what's his
man.
name is balling over there. Dude,
Bobby Portis.
left Chicago. Bobby Portis
Did you see
he
that?
was hot garbage in Chicago.
You see that? Not the picture that they posted of him. The Chicago they tweeted to him. We heard you're not liking being on that team, and he posted a picture of him holding the trophy as a cartoon, like wiping sweat off his forehead and everything with a Giannis jersey on. He was like, "What?" He put what? Like, why the fuck would I do that?
Yeah, I got a ring here. We still killing in the East.
Hell yeah, and they love me over here.
No, what's killing me is how Otto Porter is in Golden State hooping now.
I'm not surprised.
He couldn't hit He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn when he was in
I'm
Chicago.
not surprised. Steph
I'm
Curry
like,
said
are
if you
you
play on
kidding?
this, Steph Curry said if you play on this team, you have to shoot. You have to be a shooter.
Yeah,
Look
man,
at
it's
everybody that go over there. Everybody that's over there can shoot the pill. Everybody.
crazy.
All
It's
of them can
exciting
shoot the pill.
that they're back. Oh man, the Bulls killing me with these turnovers. 105, 108, 51 seconds left. We up 3. Come
All
on,
right.
y'all. It ain't the time for turnovers.
Hey, I'm gonna let you go then so you can go ahead and enjoy it. We can call it a wrap
Hey
there.
man, this was a pleasure, man, and I appreciate you for putting this together, man. And
Absolutely.
when you blow up, don't forget about me, man.
Oh, you know
I can
that
be
ain't
your
gonna change.
engineer or something.
It ain't gonna change
I'll
now.
be
I'm gonna
that.
still be
I'll
me.
be that dude on the side, like Drink Champs. I just be the dude on the side that just chime in every now and then and getting smashed.
We when that happens, it'll be a round table so everybody can chip in and do their thing. I ain't gonna change nothing for nobody, man. Everybody know
I
that.
know, man. I'm just messing with you, man. I love you because you're a stand-up dude, man.
Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen,
but this is
the big bro with me, chilling out, hanging out, talking about the Bears, Bulls, and everything Chicago. We're gonna do this again one day soon. Appreciate you hanging out with me.
gratitude, man.
Yes, sir, bro.